You know that feeling when someone shows up for you, just when you need it most? Yeah, I mean, we all need that. That's what Uber's all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way, so you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.
At RX Bar, they believe in simple nutrition without the BS. That's why they said no to artificial ingredients and yes to deliver intentional, transparent nutrition. Try their original 12-gram protein bar, the nut butter and oat bar, or minis. RX Bar, the proud sponsor of No BS. Use code RXBAR on rxbar.com for 25% off. Subject to full terms and conditions and to change. Valid until September 30, 2025, and may not be combined with other offers. See rxbar.com for full details and limitations.
Hello and welcome back to Who's the Bitch? Hi, I'm Kara.
I'm Jackie. And we're here and we've got to whine today. No, we're not coming in whining. We're coming in buzzballing, y'all.
Yeah, get those balls up.
Get your balls up. Welcome to Who's the Bitch. Man, I just feel like, I don't know if it's been a bitchy atmosphere outside recently, or maybe that's just, I don't know if, Mercury is in bitcher grade or something is happening out there, but I just feel like it's can the year just calm down?
Yeah.
It's just been so much. It just won't stop.
Yeah, it's a deluge.
But at least one of the things that's barely stopping with is the episodes of The Traitors.
Yes.
And Kara and I have been really enjoying this season of The Traitors.
Yes, and this comes out. Oh, and look, we're in a little bit of a time machine, guys. We might be 2 weeks past The Traitors, but we're here to talk about it because it's the first time we've gotten together to talk about The Traitors. This was my first season watching The Traitors.
Same.
Everybody kept telling me to get on the Phaedra season last year, and I just kept going, I will, and then it was over, and I just didn't. I got on this shit when I had COVID, and I am loving The Traitors. So we
won't ruin it.
Yeah, we won't spoil it because Jackie actually, is a little bit. Just doesn't even know who won all the way.
I know. The last episode I haven't gotten a chance to watch yet. And you know what? Here's the thing, though, Kara. I am allowing, can I just say, talk about in terms of whether you are a bitch or not. If you don't get to watch the episode, and I'm not saying that someone should spoil it for you, but every once in a while, if it takes you weeks to watch that episode, you can't lose your mind if it gets spoiled for you.
You can't.
You really can't, because the internet is aflame with it. And I had to give that up a long time ago.
Oh, can I tell you something unrelated to a spoiler? But something happened to me this week where, so everybody knows that I'm in the Bravoverse pretty deep, and Jackie is just now jumping into that pool with me.
Certainly am.
So you watched all of Salt Lake, and there was there's a character, a real life person on Salt Lake who 2 years ago went to jail for federal crimes. Jen Shaw went to jail for elder abuse. I mean, she was elder scamming.
I think she was the bitch of that season.
Yeah, horrible shit. And my friend Yasser Lester posts these fake news stories in his Instagram, but somebody else had picked it up and put it into one of my Facebook groups that I follow that are for the housewives.
Oh no.
So I literally just say to my friends in the chat, I go, did you guys see that Trump is letting Jen Shaw out on early parole? That was what the article said. And I go, I mean, it's not hard to believe. He pardoned all of the January 6 people. I mean, it's not hard to believe. So I was like, oh, yeah. Oh my God, he's letting Jen Shaw out. I can't believe it. Because he loves a reality star. I'm sure he'd be like, let her out. She didn't do anything wrong. Those old people are dumb. And they're threes, not one hot old person in the whole group. So and then my friends were like, Kara, are you talking about that fake post Yasser put up? I go, but in my defense, I saw it in a Facebook group.
Oh no, you got poo
and when
craved.
I tried to go, I totally did. And then when I tried, poo craved.
This is the thing, is that over on page 7, every once in a while, or it was really only the once, but MJ, we say they got poo craved because they thought they were reading something that was put up by Pop Crave.
Yes.
But they got poo craved.
Yes.
And so you got poo craved.
Yeah, I got poo craved. So anyway, I just thought that's apropos of nothing. That's not related to The Traitors, but it's related to the Housewives. Jen Shaw will be on The Traitors one day, for sure. When she's out of jail, she'll be on The Traitors.
She's going to have to make money somehow.
Yeah.
So I guess put her on The Traitors.
Or she'll be on House of Villains. I don't know. They don't necessarily put like really. Anyway, what I like about the Traitors.
Are you about to besmirch House of Villains? Because I will not
at
allow
all.
it.
I was just saying they don't really put like super villainous people on Traitors. I mean, they do, but like they put like smart gamers. They don't put like somebody that's just a jerk to everybody all the time.
Right. Not like House of Villains.
Whatever. But what I've already said this on another podcast, but so if you listen to my other podcast, I apologize. What I like about this is like there's this whole fucking corner of reality TV that I knew nothing about. I don't watch Big Brother. I don't watch Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
I watched The Challenge when I was in high school, maybe like Real Road Rules, like when it came out. There's this whole gamer like a section of reality TV that I'm not in because I don't want to watch somebody starve to death on a beach while they get sunburned. I don't want that, like, or go crazy and just like, but I do enjoy trickery and treachery and all that. And I like it in a gorgeous Scottish castle with a campy as fuck host and a beautiful backdrop. That's what I like. So Traitors for me is my entree into that. Then if I don't really see myself going into the other shit either, but I just like the whole, like, this is how you play the game and you don't know. And we're obviously watching an edited version of it. I have to keep being like, how do you not know so-and-so is a traitor? It's like, yeah, you're watching the person go to the turret. You know who the fucking traitors are. Stop acting like you're smarter than anybody.
But what I do like about Traitors, though, is that it is so, every challenge is so convoluted that I'm like,
Crazy.
Wait, what do they have to do? And I'm not saying that the people, it makes sense that they have high gamers on it, because then you look at the Sam Asgharis of the group and you're like, what's going on up there? Because I feel like not a whole lot is going on inside of his head, and maybe he just wasn't getting the edit that we were all asking for. Because I've been watching, obviously anybody that follows Britney Spears know that Sam Asghari is the ex-husband of Britney Spears.
Which, unfortunately, anybody who knows that but Dorinda didn't know that. Did you know Dorinda didn't know?
And which, that's fine. It's understandable. I guess if you're not following the tabloids, I guess a lot of people wouldn't know. And I think at first, I'm sure a lot of people weren't sure who Sam Asghari is because he's not on.
But then you Google it, isn't it the first fucking thing?
Yeah, it's like the only thing anybody knows about him. Or until now, because he just recently went on an episode of the Nikki and Bree show, and they were talking
Nikki
about
was a traitor,
Nikki
right?
was a traitor
on the Traitors.
the
She was a
Traitors.
faithful.
Yes, she was a faithful.
Sorry, no spoilers. She was a faithful.
Faithful on the Traitors. So Sam Asghari went on to the episode to talk about, and the quote that is being used from him, man, really makes us understand what is not going on up there inside of his brain. Sam Asghari likened being with someone with a high body count, which, can I just say, the phrase high body count really,
Body counts.
Yuck. Ick.
Disgusting.
I'm icked out. And he's talking about if someone lies about their high body count, that he likens it to buying a used car. He said, you come over here, you can't reverse the mileage on that car. That's illegal. That's against the law. So it is just like you're trying to lie about selling a used car. If you lie about how high your body count is.
I have to admit, I laughed at high body count hair just because Angie K goes so low on Salt Lake. She did say another woman had high body count hair, but in general, body count is so fucking crazy. Literally,
high body count hair, though.
How little sense it makes? Do you know how little sense it makes? If you have one boyfriend, let's say you have 3 boyfriends in your life because you're like a serial monogamous, you've probably had sex so many fucking times with that person. Like you've probably had sex hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times when you meet your final person. If you're like a fucking person that just goes around and having random sex here and there, you're definitely not getting that many.
Good at it.
Like, yes, but it's like, what are we talking about? Number of partners or insertions? What are you talking about? What makes a person worn out? You know what I mean? Like, what are you fucking talking about? It makes no sense.
No, it makes absolutely no sense. And I just imagine he's got a beautiful face, but it doesn't look like a lot of the lights are on inside of the castle.
Speaking of my Bravo Facebook groups, somebody wrote into one of my Bravo Facebook groups and wrote, hey, I'm producing the Traitors after show. Does anybody have questions? Or any of you watching it? I have questions. And I just wrote, Sam, do you have any thoughts? Like
about anything?
About
ever?
anything? Like, are there any synapses firing in there? Because he just did not speak for the first half of the show, and then the second he started speaking, oh, no, spoiler, he's not around for too long after he starts talking. But yeah, fuck body count. That's such a fucking misogynist thing that has entered. It's like Andrew Tate brought body count in or something like that. This whole fucking YouTube culture of how used your girl can be, and it's fucking, because nobody cares about guys' body counts, by the way.
And I also, the only amount of like the kind of body counts that I crave to know about are like the puppet masters. Like, how many bodies do you have? How many like little spirits do you have inside of dolls that you're just going to use at your will?
I want to know in procedurals, how many people has this cop shot?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. That's your body count.
Different body counts, and not the ones that Sam Asghari is apparently wrapping his brain around. I don't want to know what's going in there. So I guess he is being the bitch of the podcast, but I'm fine with it, I guess, because, at least he's not with Britney Spears anymore. And he also on this episode was talking about how like it's really hard for him because, like he's got a career now because of who he was married to, and that's not fair. What? What are you talking about? You mean because you have no other thing that you bring to a screen or to any kind of entertainment, so you are nothing without her.
Yeah.
And now you don't have her. So you're still trying to ride the laurels of being Britney Spears' ex-husband?
Well, his trader's lower third was like actor/model, right? Or something. It's like,
my God.
I saw you in one episode of Black Monday where you're fucking Casey Wilson and you don't even have any lines. So,
That's how far it got you.
I guess. Yeah. Sure.
But I know that we need to move on to our submissions.
Listen, we got so many submissions lately, and you guys, it's the best. Like, listen, we have been getting so many submissions that we don't have time to do them all on the podcast, but keep an eye on our Instagram.
Yes.
Who's the bitch LPN? Because we're going to have some interesting stuff on the IG coming up soon, or on maybe on the Last Pod TikTok. Don't quote me on that part, but definitely on our Instagram. But we got so many awesome submissions this week. So let's kick it off.
And you can send in your own submissions. Go to who'sthebitch.com. All the ways you can contact us. Go to who'sthebitch.com. You can email us. You can leave us a voicemail. You can call us in when we do our live streams every other Monday.
Yes, some of you are like leaving us a couple of different voicemails because you're like, hold on, I got to get my thoughts together. And that's totally fine. And we appreciate it and whatever you want to do. But if you feel like it would be better suited to talk to us live, call into our live shows. Our next one is this coming Monday. It's March 24th. So call in and we'll just have a chat about it. You don't have to be on camera, by the way. Your face doesn't have to be on camera. Mm-hmm. Do we love to see a gorgeous face? Of course we do.
Love it.
But we don't have to if you're embarrassed or anything like that. So call in. But also we get a lot of emails because people are like, I don't want my voice. We'll take it any which way it comes. Also DMs are acceptable. Our first one today is an email. Okay?
You got bitch.
Hey, ladies, I have a potential 4 bitches in this story.
Whoa,
and
a 4-bitcher.
A quadro
okay.
bitch.
Whoa.
A quadro bitch, okay? And I need your help to sort it out. My wife and I met a couple a little over a year ago, and we all clicked well. Let's call her A and him B.
Okay.
We've been on trips with each other, shared hotel rooms, stayed up late, got up early, that sort of stuff. Almost every weekend, we spend time with each other. What we've all learned about each other is my wife and his wife are bisexual, which will become important to the story.
Okay.
About a month ago, we did a normal day drinking marathon get together. Okay, you guys invite me. That sounds fun.
Love this.
Something we have done several times. At the end of the day, we were closing down one of our favorite bars. B noticed that the girls have been gone for a while. Some time goes by and I'm hanging on by a thread, like it's time to go home. Well, he goes into the girls' restroom to find our wives in a rather intense makeout session. Ooh. He drags her out of the bathroom and leaves. No goodbyes, nothing.
Oh, no.
Our wives have said their apologies, said things got out of control, yada, yada. But since this night, things have felt differently. We don't hang out as much, don't talk as much. It's not the same. Personally, I don't find a problem with what happened, and I told A that. My wife and I are good and happy. Who is the bitch in this situation? I ranked them in order of who I thought the most likely.
I love that.
B, because he panicked and left in a hurry and has held this quiet animosity that ruined the friendship. My wife and I have a theory he has not fully confronted his A's bisexuality and is in some way threatened by it. Second, my wife, because she was the one who led the situation in the first place, led in quotes. Me, because I don't mind it happening and got quote unquote cucked in a way. Could be hypocritical critical since certain people I would not be happy if my wife made out with them. But with A, I don't care. Or A, because she went along with the situation with a good idea of how he would react. Would love your final say on this situation.
Whoa, I feel like that very last line really gives you a curveball. Or A, because she went along with the situation as a good idea, even though she knew how he would react.
But that said, A's mind was drowning in Cuervo or whatever at the time. So like, I don't think she was like, hey, if this happens, if A happens, well, we shouldn't do A and B anymore. I don't think she was like, if X happens, Y happens. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't thinking. They were wasted and they were like, let's make out a little bit.
And they're having fun.
This is so complicated because, yeah, I think you're correct. I mean, obviously, you know your friend, but like, B is not confronting his wife's like full bisexuality. It's like, you are good friends. Like, friends can develop like feelings for each other, not feelings even.
Just
be
having
drunk
a time.
and have a good time and like make
curious.
out a little bit.
Surprise bill? Need fast funds? CashNet USA can help. When you need money fast, be the hero.
Apply in minutes at cashnetUSA.com and get a fast decision. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times.
This summer, Instacart is bringing back your favorites from 1999 with prices from 1999. That means 90s prices on juice pouches that ought to be respected, 90s prices on boxed mac and cheese, and 90s prices on ham, cheese, and cracker lunches. Enjoy all those throwbacks and more at throwback prices, only through Instacart. $4.72 maximum discount per $10 of eligible items. Limit 3 offers per order. Expires September 5th while supplies last. Discount based on CPI comparison.
And I also, I do say, I don't think that B would be a bitch because he panicked and left in a hurry, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's hammered. You go in, you see your wife making out with somebody else. It doesn't really matter who it is.
Right.
At the time, your brain goes into overdrive. So that's not the part that I'm concerned about. I guess I'm more concerned about the fact that he's not talking to you guys about
he's
it and
keeping in this quiet animosity, as you said.
Yes, and I feel like that would become such an issue that like I wonder how A is dealing with this situation.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I bet she misses you guys,
right? And I do wonder how they feel. Oh, what?
No, nothing. I thought of something.
Oh,
You
gotcha.
keep going.
But I do wonder if like, in this, like, have your wife and A had any further conversations about what happened, about how it went down? I feel like this situation, I don't even know if anybody is necessarily being a bitch. I feel like there's a lot of big feelings and a lot needs to be talked about.
Yeah. Like, let's have a combo. The thing is like, are you guys not having a combo because you're kind of just party friends? Or like, it sounds like you travel together and stuff, so you're really close. Like, I mean, I'm wondering, like, can you talk to B? Can you talk to the guy?
Right,
And be
and
like,
give him a
hey,
call.
like, I don't think this is anything, or how are you feeling about this? Maybe. Yeah, he might resent you because you're being so like blasé about this.
Because I am bisexual. I've had this conversation with my husband before, and in our relationship, with our like discussions, that no matter who it is I hook up with without his consent,
he does not like that.
He does not like
Yeah.
it. It is not. There is no consent given. It doesn't
Right.
matter. I'm attracted to all kinds of people, and it
Right.
still doesn't matter. And I also could imagine B being upset with the person that wrote in, being like, "But you're just fine with this. You're just cool with this, so I have to be cool with it," which is not also the case.
No.
Every marriage is different. Every relationship is different. So it depends on what you guys have decided on. I think that's why I was so intrigued by that last line of that, like, the fact that that A knew what she was doing and knew how he would react. That, like, I wonder, is the person that wrote in, are you seeing something about their marriage that you're like, oh, maybe this was encouraged to maybe make the conversation happen between A and B? You know what I mean? And then I would feel bad for your wife, who might have felt used in the situation, even though you said that your wife is the one that kind of
initiated it,
led the situation.
Well, I was also saying, like, I wonder if B has a bigger problem with it being a close friend and maybe wouldn't care if she got wasted and made out with some stranger at a bar. But because it's somebody that they have to see all the time, he feels like that's, A, he probably thinks we hang out all the time. Like, what if she's actually going to fall for you? Like making out, like, there is an attraction there, obviously,
Right.
So he might be like, I don't want to hang out with you guys. I don't want to risk my wife like falling for your wife. I don't want to be reminded of it every time I see your wife. I'm going to just think of, because he's the one that saw it. The other thing is B saw it and A didn't.
Right.
So B's like, I've got the vision in my head of my wife and your wife making out, and I don't like that. And
which is okay and understandable. I also
it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with feeling that way in a relationship. But you're so right. The fact that he saw it, you gotta talk to B. So much talking has to happen.
Yeah,
There's
just
so
be like, I miss you,
feelings.
man. I hope this doesn't like ruin everything. Like, I just thought it was like the girls being drunk. Like, maybe if he hears from you downplaying it a little bit. By the way, don't say you got cucked. Come on. First of all, cucking. What a fucking stupid word. But also, you obviously you're secure enough in your relationship with your wife that like you think a drunk makeout with a pal is not a big deal.
Yes.
Again, Jackie's husband wouldn't like that. My husband wouldn't like that. That's your guys' truth, and that's great.
So, Kara, are you asking me right now? Because I don't think we should, Kara.
I don't think we should, Jackie.
Not after this submission.
But after a few buzz balls, who is to say who's in charge?
I mean, you get them bitch balls going. I'll tell you what, it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
But this is it's an interesting situation that I feel like some people hear this and be like, what are you so upset about?
Yeah.
And then the other side, people are like,
Right.
of course he's upset. Of course they're both upset.
Yeah.
So it is so much the perspective of the situation and what you bring to it. Because also, you never know. Maybe B was cheated on, and maybe he had a partner that left him for a woman. Or
he's noticed how well his wife gets along with A. He's like, I don't know. You guys are getting real close. Like my husband sometimes is like, wow, you got real close with that friend real quick. I'm like, yeah, that, like women just do that. I think.
We connect.
But yeah. So I think it would be, I don't think anybody, I don't know, you guys are all a bunch of drunk bees in this situation, kind of. Like, I don't think anybody's really the bitch. You guys are all like, you guys were just having a drunk. I really don't think you're the bitch at all, because you're just kind of like letting it go. And I guess maybe the wives are bitches because they made out for a sec. Again, that's on everybody's different list of what their thing is.
Exactly, and how they reacted
and I don't
afterwards.
think he's being I don't think that B's being a bitch, except in the way that he's not talking about it, but maybe nobody's reached out with him to talk about it. So
right.
I would say, see if you can go grab a beer with him and be like, hey man, like, I feel like that situation kind of has infected our friendship. Like, how are you feeling about it? Like, what's going on? Like, I know you probably heard
get lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe don't get a beer.
Lunch. And then I was actually going to say, and then you guys could ease into hanging out together, and maybe like the first hangout is a movie.
Right.
The second hangout is like trivia night. Like, you guys aren't necessarily like doing all day benders. Like, ease back into like your old habits so that he feels like everything's kosher and not like, and he doesn't feel, I don't know,
weirded out.
Yeah, awkward about it.
Try to bring him back in with kindness.
But it was. Thank you for writing us this juicy bathroom makeout drunk story. I loved it.
Very juicy. And don't get me wrong. There are many years in my life that I would make out with a stranger and be like, "What are you upset about?
Yeah,
why are you upset? It doesn't fucking matter." And so sometimes, we grow past things too. Sometimes,
but I think like that A and B need to figure out the boundaries in their relationship as well, because it sounds like they maybe don't have them.
But also let us know if like what ends up happening, if you end up reaching out, how it shakes out, because I'm very curious, and I feel like a lot, I'm sure you guys aren't the only couple, double couple that has been in this situation. So thank you so much for sending this in.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to a little voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hiyo, long-time listener, first-time caller to the Last Podcast Network. My name's Keaton. I've got a little story from back when I was in college. At the time, I was probably around a senior, like upperclassman, and I was walking out to my car pretty late at night, probably like 1 or 2 in the morning, and these 3 young, like freshman-looking girls come up to me and ask if I would be willing to give them a ride back to their dorm. I don't know these girls. It's I say no. But they keep pestering me, and they're like, I'll Venmo you. It's so close. It's so cold out. It was. There was like snow on the ground. They're not dressed for the weather. So eventually, like, I feel bad, and I don't know who they might ask if I say no. So I just decide to, I can't control what other people do, but I can control what I do. So I try and get them home safe. And so I give them a ride, drive them back to the dorm. It is pretty quick. Now, the part where I might be a bitch is once we get to the dorm, they're thanking me for giving the ride and everything. And I turn to them and I'm like, this is a really, really bad idea. You should never do this. This is so dangerous and irresponsible. It worked out fine this time. I hope, you'll get home and back to your rooms safe, but this could go very differently in other circumstances. Just don't ever do this. And they looked very freaked out by me saying something. I felt bad about that, but I don't necessarily feel bad for telling them it was a bad idea or even for freaking them out, because I don't want them to try that again. But yeah, so I've gotten kind of mixed opinions about I don't know, I was the stranger who had just given them a ride, so I didn't need to scare them like that. But I've also heard they shouldn't do that. It's good that you said something. So I wanted to see what y'all thought. Thank you very much. Bye.
Oh my God, Keaton, you sound like the cutest and the sweetest, and even just everything about your cadence of how you told this story. I was like, I just want to take care of you.
Listen, did I own a coat in college? I was walking around in fucking tight pants and a tube top in 0-degree weather. I have hitchhiked, not hitchhiked truly, but when I lived in Italy, I used to get rides with strangers all the time. I got a ride home with a guy once because he had a car seat in the back of his car. As if that means anything.
That means maybe he's not going to kill.
I think you did a really nice thing for those girls.
Yes.
And I think that even though they looked freaked out, you're it's have you consumed a piece of media ever? Getting in cars with strangers works out badly so much of the time.
Yeah.
And it's just I think you just giving them sort of a firm talking to, especially because you're not a 40-year-old dude doing that. You're another college student. You're a college senior or junior going, girls, this is a dumb fucking idea. Don't do this another time.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy, but there are plenty of really bad people out there. I'm thankful for you, Keaton. I think you should have put the fear of God into those girls. You should remind them. In fact, I'm proud of you that you didn't go turn into a large Marge kind of situation just to truly terrify them and just to make sure that you got through the drunk so they remember in the future not to do this anymore, because so many young people learn that lesson the wrong way.
And people think I'm in a group of 3 people.
No.
They couldn't take all of us.
No.
I'm on my college campus.
No.
College students feel so secure on their college campuses. And
they're
you're not. So I don't think you're the bitch. I don't think you're the bitch.
No,
it's interesting you said you've gotten mixed messages. Because you, honestly, if you hadn't said anything, what's the alternative? They now learn, you just judge by if the guy looks nice and seems like a nice guy, and then you get in the car with him.
Right.
That would have taught them that it works out. And instead, you're it worked out this time and it might not next time. And that's definitely, hopefully, like you said, cut through the drunk and got into their ear holes, because
scare them.
That's fucking for real. And I say that as someone who absolutely did this a bunch of times and should not have.
Oh, certainly. That or just the fact that I think about often how many nights I just wouldn't remember
how you got home.
How would I get home? What did I do? I would talk to people the next day mean, like, you seemed like you just kept going. And I didn't want to tell you to leave. And I was just like, what are you talking about? You couldn't see that I was blacked out and that I'm not able to control myself at all. You should be controlling me. But that's not what your 20s are for. That's not how it goes, especially when you're in college and you don't know any better.
I mean, these little girlies are 18 years old.
Oh my God.
I'm just like picturing them in their little tiny tops and high heels.
Makes me think of how many times I loved giving shit to people that would walk, especially in New York, when they would wear really high heels that they did not know how to walk in. And I would always refer to them as the baby deer. Like, look at the baby deer, because you could see the baby deer trying to desperately learn how to walk in the snow when it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. And they're just like,
and you're like, a jacket doesn't look good with this outfit. So you just wouldn't wear a jacket. You'd be like, I'm just going to go straight from like the car to the place I'm going. So it's like, I'll just be cold. It's so fucking crazy. Okay. Let's go to our next. Thank you so much for your story, Keaton. And I think you can rest. You can sleep easy knowing that you're a conscientious non-bitch. Bitchless crime. Jackie, read our next email, would you?
You've got
Thank you for opening the bitchosphere to all of us who have inquiries, and I love your podcast. Thank you so much. I have a situation that I've never been able to ask anybody about because it's so weird, and honestly, don't know who I would talk to about this. My husband of 18 years has sleep apnea and anxiety and frequently wakes up in the middle of the night for periods of time. Apparently, the only thing that helped him go back to sleep is masturbating in bed. Next to me. I've known for a while now because I found his used t-shirts the next morning. One night I woke up to him doing it and I got very upset and decided to sleep the rest of the night on the couch. The next morning he acted like nothing happened and nothing was said until I brought it up. He said that's the only way he can get back to sleep. I said that's fine, just don't do it in the bed next to me. I have nothing against masturbation. I quite enjoy it myself. That being said, don't do it in the bed next to me. He asked me where he was supposed to do it. In the bathroom? I said I frankly didn't care where he did it, just not in the bed next to me. It's very insulting. If he wants to get his rocks off, wake me up. I'll be more than happy to help. He said he didn't know why I had a problem with it. He'd been doing this the whole time we were married. This was news to me.
Oh my
I thought it was a more recent thing brought on by life pressures and increased anxiety affecting his sleep. He knows how upset I am about it, yet he does nothing about it. I know because I'm finding his t-shirts on occasion next to the bed in the morning. Am I being an unrealistic bitch by asking him to stop doing it next to me, or am I being gaslit? Thank you, ladies, and keep up the good work. Thank you so much for sending in your question. Oh my God.
Instacart is here to keep you on the couch this basketball season. With pre-game rituals and post-game interviews, it's hard to find time for everything else. Let Instacart handle your game day snacks or weekly restocks with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Because it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. Download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants.
I mean, I don't actually think this is a tough one. It's like a little bit sensational because it's like, it's masturbating, but like, yeah, if your husband's doing something in bed that you don't like, in a room, in a bed that you share, and you've expressed that you don't like it, he needs to stop doing it.
I also am like kind of very into this because I had an ex that used to do the same fucking thing.
Oh my God.
And it drove me crazy, especially when, and now this isn't coming from you, I'm saying from my experience, he wouldn't fuck me. So I did. So I'm like, but you still need to get your rocks off. So if you need to go to sleep, you won't even wake me up so that we can have this experience together, and you won't do it any other time, but you need to jerk off and you need to do it next to me in the bed. And there's something, and I completely understand about it being next to you in the bed that is, even though to some other people, you're like, why are you insulted by it? Because it's insulting.
Yeah,
it is.
It doesn't really matter like what it is. Like if it's he wakes up and turns the light on and reads a book, and you're bothered by the light of the book.
Yes,
the light, like the lamp. That then, and you say, I don't like that. Could you not do that?
Exactly.
That is the partnership. That is cohabitating and sharing a room.
Yes.
So if you do not like the jerking off, you have to stop doing it there. Go to another room. She doesn't care if you do it.
Exactly.
Go to another room. Go to the bathroom. You want to sit there lazy because you like being in your your bed and not having to get up.
Exactly.
Sorry, bro. You got to get up. And you've been doing it for 18 fucking years. And you know what? You got away with it for a long time. Count yourself lucky. You jerked off for 18 years next to your sleeping wife. She just found out and doesn't like it. Get in the living room. Go in the bathroom. Go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. Also, on top of it, this is, which I completely understand, you're still leaving the T-shirts next to the bed.
God.
So you wait a second. So not only are you doing it, I've asked you not to do it, but then you're going to continue to do it and still leave the crusted T-shirts next to the bed that I'm going to pick up and wash for you? Oh, fuck no. Because you're so right, Kara. At this point, it has nothing to do with the jerking off. It has to do with a communication issue between you both, that you are asking for something and he is simply just not doing it.
And it's like, it makes me wonder if he's been doing it for 18 years. Like, is you not waking up and not knowing about it part of it for him?
Right.
Like, oh, she's right there, but she doesn't know what I'm doing. Like, is that part of the turn on? Because that's making me feel like that's the reason why he won't just go do it somewhere else. It's not like just an explicit need to just release semen or whatever.
I just feel like if that were the case, and I know this sounds really dumb, but he would be putting those T-shirts, if he really wanted to get away with it, if this was a kink and he really truly didn't want anyone to find out about it, he would put those fucking T-shirts in the hamper, at least. And this is, I feel, and again, just perspective, laziness. It is lazy and it is very annoying. And so I feel that you are not being an unrealistic bitch in asking for this. The one thing that I almost say at this point, from my perspective, if he's continuing to not do it, I would just get angrier and angrier, but don't do that. It just needs to be more of a communication, because the angrier you get, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to stop anything. This is a failure of communication between both of you, that he's not listening to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then it's time to...
And it doesn't matter that he got away with it for 18 years.
No.
Like, that's his excuse right now. Or like, oh, it's been going on. It's like, okay, now I don't want it to go on anymore.
Yes. And like, surprise, life is filled with change. And that is the one constant in life.
Yeah. If you're like, but I've been giving you back rubs for 10 years. Guess what? Today I don't like back rubs. Back rubs are done.
Go to the bathroom.
People are allowed to change. People are allowed to have preferences that change. Your husband needs to fucking deal with it. Make something happen with doing this in another room, or figuring out the Calm app or something. Not a paid sponsor, but something that is not doing something that you find insulting and disruptive.
You're so right, though. You could do that wrote in that, like, or let's do it together. Okay. Like, maybe let's make this into something like, okay, we're having trouble going to sleep. Well, why don't we get
Wake
both
me up
of
and
each
let's
other?
have sex? But he's not doing that. That means I think the kink is that you're asleep, or that it's just he's not trying to do all the work of sex.
No, he just wants to get
so it's either that's part of the kink, or he's lazy and he's like, I just want to fucking do it and be done. And that's why he's not putting the shirts away. It's laziness.
Exactly. That's why I'm so reminiscent of my ex, because it was so much where he's just like, it's just because I want it. He's like, I'm not trying to have sex. I need to ejaculate so that I can go back to sleep. And I was like, fine. To the bathroom with you then.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Because then if I wake up to the jerking from the other side of the fucking bed, I am filled with rage.
Yeah, that's not okay.
No.
I hope this helps. I'm sorry, like, you've been having this issue and not had anywhere to turn. I hope we've helped you, but I definitely think you need to
talk to him more. And I hope you know that you're not alone in this. It's like, even just that's why I had to read this one.
That's so wild.
Yes.
I didn't even know that you'd had this experience.
Yes. And I thought it's why I had to go back to therapy, because I was like, is there something wrong with me that he doesn't want to have?
Right.
Because I have such a high sex drive. So I was like, so what? So he just doesn't want to fuck me.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Don't blame yourself.
And it wasn't that. It really wasn't. That's why further communication, and honestly, to a point that you might want to even look into couples therapy, just as a way of like, why won't you change this behavior?
Right.
Well, like, what is it that why won't you? Because that is, at that point, I feel, being a little stubborn, just because you got away with it before.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're not getting away with it anymore, pal.
Nah, dude.
Thank you so much for writing in and trusting us with your story. Let's get to another email.
You got
Hi, ladies. So glad you're doing the show. Can't wait to hear all the tea. I'll get right into it. My roommate/best friend and I have birthdays within a week of each other, and she always goes all out for her celebrations. Okay. All right. We'll get into that. Okay. Never mind. We'll get into my feelings about people who make their birthdays the biggest fucking deal in the world. But anyway.
I love how angry it makes
I'm
you.
already
It's so funny.
I'm already on one. Okay. Last year, I helped her set up a really complicated party at our house, made a costume, and even gave her an awesome gift. She invited a lot of people I didn't know, but it ended up being fun. The cleanup the next day, it was not.
Yeah.
However, when my birthday came 7 days later, she got me a card and didn't even ask if I wanted to do anything special. This year, she wanted to rent out a bar for her birthday, but couldn't afford it. She works for her mom and part-time gig. So she planned to ask her parents to cover the cost, over $8,000.
What?
Because I guess why not? And then in parentheses, she goes, my parents would laugh in my face if I ever asked that.
Yeah,
Girl,
yeah, same.
The request would not pass my lips. Apparently, they said no. Well, yeah. Then she sent out invitations for a joint birthday party with another friend and asked people to RSVP by sending her a Venmo request for $50 to cover the party expenses. I did not want to be rude, so I sent the $50, but I did not really want to go stand around and pay for drinks at a cold brewery tap room that looked like an unfinished basement in a costume with her group of friends that never invite me to anything.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I just love the way that you said that sentence. You're like, you're right. You're right, bitch.
Am I being unreasonable for not wanting to pay to attend my own friend's birthday party? Is it wrong for her to ask guests to pay for the party she's hosting for herself? Does it have anything to do with her trip to Cancun that her friend group took for their other friend's birthday? Is she just trying to keep up? I eagerly await your judgment. Signed, Ms. Underpaid Educator.
Oh my God.
I mean, underpaid educator. We might need a new friend here. I don't know. This sounds shitty. Like,
real shitty.
You guys have these joint birthdays and you go all out and she gets you a card and like won't even take you for a drink when you do all these things, or like take you for a small meal or something. It's whatever. I understand that seems like you just can't live beyond your means. I'm sorry.
No,
you can't.
I don't understand. And maybe this is just somebody that, I was raised not with a lot of money, and I can't imagine wanting to throw myself an $8,000 party. And then if I can't pay for it, which I couldn't even do right now, going to your parents to say, please pay for my $8,000 party. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? What, unless you're saying this is, I guess, her sweet 16. I guess if you're going something like that, I kind of understand. But to pay $50 for you to have a party, and the $50 isn't going towards like, oh, we're raising money, or oh, it's going towards something, or oh, we're doing something for a reason, but just so that you can pay to go to a brewery. You don't have to pay to go to a brewery. You can just go to a brewery.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what's the $8,000 for?
Yeah.
I mean, what do I know? Maybe she's getting a fucking mechanical bull or something. But I'm just
my God,
you
Kara.
could just have your party at any bar and have a bunch of people come and pay cash, and it doesn't cost anything, and it can still be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This is like, I have a bad taste in my mouth for a friend that is asking you're saying this is your best friend and your roommate. Like, she's not treating you like a best friend.
No, she certainly
she's
is not.
Asking you to pay to come to a party and all her friends, and then like she doesn't even bring you into her other friend group at all. It doesn't sound like, which is shitty. And
But also, you're not the Real Housewives. Like, I know $50 wouldn't be what they would be spending to go to an establishment, but what does the $50 get you? Like, what is she spending the money? Like, if I found out, like, oh, okay, it's $50 for us all to go, but we're about to go have, I don't know, like a super crazy, laser tag experience or like something like that.
That's a different thing. You
get something out of it.
That's like you go, okay, we're all going to go do this. Cost is $50 a person.
All
Who wants to let me know who's coming? Because obviously I don't think we're housewives where we're all going to pay for everything at a birthday party.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Every birthday party I've had my entire life has been either come over to my backyard and I'll buy a bunch of food and booze.
Yeah.
Or let's meet at this bar and everybody pay for as much as you want of whatever.
Right.
And maybe a couple people buy me a drink and I'm having a happy little time.
Yeah, and especially if you just went on a trip to Cancun for your other friend's birthday.
But she did it, not the writer.
Right?
Yes,
the friend
yeah, the
did.
friend.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
This is a friend who's trying to keep. This was a friend who's trying to live beyond her means, and she's trying to keep up with the fucking Joneses, and she does not have the means for it. And I hate to say something. It sounds like she's leaving you behind in the process.
Yes,
I hate to say that because you call her your best friend, but like a card for your birthday doesn't even ask you if you want to do anything. Like, and then she has a joint party with another person, even though your birthdays are a week away. Did she not ask you to do the joint birthday party because you don't have the money for an 8K party? Which, by the way, none of us do.
No.
Like, I just, like, this is all really, I just don't, at least the way you've worded this, and that's all I can go on, I don't like this friend of yours.
No.
I don't think asking people to pay for a party that you're organizing is... At the same time, though, I have organized, I organized my own bachelorette, but I just gave everybody the information. I was like, this is how much it's going to cost. And then people who wanted to come
can come,
came, and then people who didn't.
Exactly, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I'm even throwing something at a brewery in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and I know that it's like you just have to make a reservation. You don't have to pay for a private room.
Even a private room's not $8,000 at a fucking brewery,
unless it's like all drinks and all food paid for, which I don't even think that would cover it. But like, get something out of it. If you're just going to go pay $50 and then you have to pay for drinks as well, I would be so much angrier than you're coming in at. I feel like you're coming in at like a 2. I'm already at a 14 for you.
I'm like annoyed you already sent the Venmo.
Yes.
You should have waited for this episode to come out. I'm just kidding. I'm sure that the party's already happened. But there's something about everybody making your friends chip in so that like you can realize these standards that are important only to you.
Yes.
That I don't like.
Yes. And so, you're so right too. It's the keeping up with the Joneses and how difficult that is, especially with, social media and everything nowadays. It's so easy to look at what you have and think it's not enough. It's not as much as everybody else.
Right.
And so you want to keep hitting these upper echelons when it's like, man, life's too short.
And I think you go, hey, I just took a big trip to Cancun. So this year for my birthday, it's going to be something more chill. You just can't have everything. You just can't have everything you want, friend.
Yeah.
Friend of the writer. Friend of Ms. Underpaid Educator. Thank you for writing in. You're an underpaid educator, which is unfortunate because teachers should be the highest paid people in our country.
Yeah, they fucking should.
But your $50 is your $50. And I just don't think a friend needs to be like, demanding that you spend money to celebrate them. Birthdays have gotten out of hand. Everything's gotten out of hand. Weddings, birthdays, fucking social media, people taking pictures on fake private jets to make it look like they're doing things.
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to calm the fuck down.
I also feel bad because I feel like you're saying that she's your best friend, but is she treating you like a best friend, asking for the $50, knowing that you're going to be helping her with this party? You're going to be helping with
you don't
cleanup.
really know
you're going to be
half the
doing
people
other
there,
things.
And your friends aren't nice to her. Like, I don't know. I hate it. I don't like this
we're
situation.
upset for you. I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm mad.
This is definitely like
I'm mad.
She's being a bitch, and you are certainly not the bitch.
Yeah, for sure. So let us know how it goes. Let us know how the fucking party was. You know what? I want you to write back and tell me what the 8K was for. Please.
Yes.
Please write back and tell us what this 8K covered. And if you don't say that like fucking Lisa Rinna showed up at your party or some like
a Velcro wall
I was trying
or
to think of a person
something.
who would just cost that much. I was like, who would just cost like just a few K to come to a birthday party? Like, just let us know what happened. Like, why was it 8K? And like, was it a good party? I'm dying to know. We have one more voicemail.
Let's get to
Let's
it.
hear it.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, Kara and Jackie. Big fans of your podcast. Love hearing every week about Who's the Bitch.
Thanks.
I have one for you that I hope you can help with. Recently, my main group of friends, we all went in on a trip to Palm Springs.
Ooh.
We had one person who coordinated it, and he and his husband have a toddler. So basically they took charge of the event, and they found the place where we're going to stay, and they coordinated all of it. So when it came time to kind of select rooms, we all agreed that they would get the biggest room because they had a toddler and they did all the work and
Makes
they
sense.
paid more for it. But the rest of us were kind of, they were all pretty equal rooms. So the day that we're going to go check in, me and my husband had to work a little bit. So we were going to get there later.
Oh, no.
And as we were driving with our dog, and we have kind of like a bigger dog, we were getting texts from people who were arriving saying that they were calling rooms. And something to know about the place, it was kind of like a compound. So there were kind of different houses. There was like a main house that had 2 bedrooms. They all had their own bathrooms. Like I said, they're all pretty equal. The only thing that was unusual is that there was a converted Airstream trailer that had air conditioning, had its own bathroom.
Yes.
It was very private. It was fine. It was completely fine. And basically, we were going to be the last to arrive, and it was clear that we were going to get the Airstream trailer. And the thing was that with our dog, we have a huge cage, and it really wasn't a functional place for us to stay. That was the only room that we really couldn't stay in. So as we're driving, everyone's calling the room, and we texted in the group text, and we said, hey, just as everyone's calling rooms, just the only room we don't want to stay in is the Airstream trailer because we have our dog's giant kennel, and we were just like, any other room is fine. And we kind of got like a bitchy text from one of our friends that said, nope, like first come, first serve. Like we called it. And I had a very negative reaction to that.
Yeah.
I felt like it was unnecessary, and I may have overreacted. I did text the group text that we were just going to turn around and not come. And I recognized that was like a crazy thing to do.
I understand.
And then it was like silent for a long time. And I later found out that everyone else was kind of texting each other separately, that it was, that they were all kind of saying how crazy what this was. But eventually the person who was refusing to move rooms texted that it was just a big joke and like, geez, calm down. You're acting crazy. And I admit that I was kind of acting kind of crazy, but it felt like it wasn't a joke. And I felt like she was definitely not wanting to stay in that room for no other reason. Then I think something else to know is that this one person was the only single person on the trip. And I think that she was maybe feeling left out, or I don't know. But by the time we got there, the vibes were off. Everyone was kind of like on edge. And I felt like people were blaming me for kind of overreacting. But I also feel like it was a very reasonable request to not stay in that room. And I'm wondering, I guess, who's the bitch here? Like, was I out of line for just requesting that, they're all co-equal rooms? I would have been happy to stay in the Airstream trailer with my husband if we had not had our giant dog with us. I felt like that was a reasonable request, but then I was treated like I was being crazy and that I couldn't take a joke. And I feel like they were the ones who escalated it by, not, being accommodating when I was just making a simple request. So just curious to hear your take on it. Was I the bitch or was my friend the bitch? Bye.
Wow. This really scratches a little, Bravo itch for us because this is a huge point of contention on every Bravo trip.
Meredith Marks.
I've also done several Palm Springs trips myself.
And I know, so have I, and I know exactly the Airstream you're talking about. So many of the desert places, so many of them have the Airstream, and you're like, but it's great. You have your own like little apartment, except the air conditioner's never as good. You're separated from everybody on the trip because everybody's inside the house and you're outside the house, so you don't hear when everybody wakes up. There's a lot of downsides to having the Airstream in the back.
Right. And I think I'm not going to say that the couple with the toddler is the bitch, but I am going to say if you coordinate the trip, you're in charge. And I think you should set out rooms for everyone. I think you should literally be like, everybody let me know. Because listen, I had 19 girls to a Palm Springs house for my bachelorette party, okay? And I had it mapped out who was in what room. You cannot go, everybody just go here. You're like, this person has to sleep with this person because they both get up early. And I get this is different because this is all a bunch of couples and you're saying most of the rooms are co-equal. But I feel like it's like you write to like maybe the sportier couple and you go, hey, would you guys mind taking the Airstream? Because if not, if the single girl doesn't want the Airstream, then let's get a different house. Let's do a different house that doesn't have this Airstream trailer option.
Yes.
Because you're like, okay, well, we know these 2 guys are coming with a dog and these 2 guys are coming with a toddler.
Right.
So like you would have the voice, like the map out of what everybody needs. You would have the list of needs. So I don't like that. I also don't like that. I don't think your friend was joking.
No.
She was not joking.
She was not.
I hate when someone says something serious and then you react because you're annoyed and they're like, it was a joke. Like that's not how jokes work.
Right.
Everyone should know that there's a joke happening. It's like a prank almost, and I don't like it.
Especially that kind of quote unquote joke when a couple is already, or a person is coming to a group trip late.
There is no worse feeling for me.
Yes.
For me personally, Kara Clank, to be the last person arriving to a trip.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I do not give a fuck about my room. At every trip we go to, I'm like, put me in the bunk beds. Like, I really don't care about that kind of stuff at all. I care about who I'm with, the people. I'm not like this Airbnb has to have a king or whatever. Like, I'm just really not like that. I like the experience of the travel and who I'm going with and like the food we're going to eat. Like, that's what I'm excited about.
Hell yeah.
So I don't care. But to be on your way and be the last person, it's happened to me so many times. I hate the feeling.
Yes. And then so no wonder you're already like on the precipice of like, oh, great. You're making a joke. Like, I just said what I needed. He would put out. And it is also vulnerable when there's not an organizer of a trip so that you know where you're going to be sleeping. Doesn't matter how old you are. There's something about that. I feel like it's like almost like from sleepovers. I don't know what old anxiety it brings up if you don't know. And maybe this is just, I'm speaking from my own trauma, but like when you don't know if you're taken care of or like where you're going to sleep or where that you know that it is like all done. I have so much anxiety leading up to it.
Yeah.
I need to just know that I'm taken care of and that everything's going to be okay and that I'm not going to show up and it's like, oh, actually, because I have been on that group trip before. Like, actually, there's not enough beds. So like, if you just wanted to take the couch or like if you, and that was back in, of course, when we were in our 20s and we didn't have enough money to do anything. So there's that anxiety about going on trips that I feel like never really goes away if you're going on a group trip.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it's already tense, I dare say, almost every time going into a group trip because you never quite know, like, well, how's this going to go? Is everybody going to vibe? But I do want to question the person that called in. What was your vibe when you showed up to the house? I feel like as someone that I don't take those kind of jokes very well. I'm a very sensitive person. So usually that kind of humor doesn't go well with me. So caller, I understand your response of like, I guess I may as well just turn around and not come then. Because when I'm feeling that way, I understand.
I think that's it is a little bit crazy. Like probably what I would have done, and you admit that it's a little bit crazy that you checked that. Yeah. But I would have thought the same thing. I would have gone, well, if our dog's cage is like not going to fit in the Airstream, which it's probably not, like those are they're narrow, then literally what are we going to do? Like, I'm not going to go get a hotel in the middle of the night. So I am going to turn around. But I probably would have picked up the phone and called somebody and gone, hey, like, what's the deal? Like, we told you guys we were bringing our dog. We really need like a room in the house where like our dog can have its cage, like in the corner or whatever.
You're so right, Kara, because my husband is such the king of if there's a response like that in, let's say, a chat, he immediately calls. Jeff is like, I don't like sending text messages when you're trying to figure that kind of thing out and you're trying to suss out how people's vibes actually are. He immediately jumps on the call and I'm a forever like, it'll just be easier over text, even though you don't know how people are texting.
Or you side text. Side text somebody and go, hey, I don't know what's going on there. Can you please just let everybody know that like we actually really need an inside room because of this? And then that person can be your spokesperson at the house.
But instead, the caller got side texted because everybody else was talking about their text in all the side texts. And that is, oh my God, the side texts. Every once in a while, you're just like, oh, but you all know in a group text that everybody's having their breakout rooms. Yeah. Everybody's got breakout rooms in a group text. Don't lie to me about it.
I just think the first come, first served text that the friend sent was like meant to rile you up.
Yes.
And I do think that whether it was a joke, there's a little bit of truth in every joke. Mm-hmm. And I think she was like, yeah, you guys didn't get here. And like, now, whatever, you got to take what, like, and I don't, that's like, I'm sensing you guys are at least in your 30s. That's like just not how life works anymore. It's not first come, first serve. We're not at summer camp picking our bunks, you know? Like, this is like, no, the people with the toddler get a room. The people with the dog can have a room. Like, you know, or it's a Meredith Murray say, I need a bathtub. Listen, I need a bathtub.
She needs a bathtub.
So-
or else where is she going to sit when she takes too many pills? She needs the bathtub.
Like at every party I've been to, it's like, oh, I've done, not party, I mean Palm Springs thing. It's like, oh, a bunch of us have kids. There's a couple coming without kids. They're going to take the casita because then they can sleep in and we won't make them laugh. It's like you consider everybody's shit before you, and then you kind of have it set before you go so that there isn't that feeling of like, and I would do that next trip. And I hope that the rest of the trip wasn't like ruined and that you guys could like get past the vibes. But I just think at first you expressed how that was like not really going to work for you. And then you were kind of like either it was laughed off or you were just told, whether it was a joke or not, you were told like your feelings don't matter here. And that made you mad. And you texted something that was a little bit crazy. I don't think it's that fucking crazy, to be honest. Because I'd be like, okay, guys, well, seriously, we're going to turn around. If you're not going to give us a room where we can fit our dog, then I'm going to have to go home.
Right.
And this is coming from somebody who doesn't have a dog and frankly would not welcome a dog on a Palm Springs weekend. But if that had been already approved for you, then they need to accommodate you and your dog.
Yes, 100%. And you're so right. Organizer of the trip should divvy out the rooms, or at least make sure that nobody is like, don't put me there.
There, you pick out of a hat like they do with the Chaos of the Housewives.
Sure.
And then even then, it's like, yeah, you pick out of a hat, and then what? The toddler couple gets the Airstream? We're not old enough for this bullshit and these games. It should just be, you're going to be here, you're going to be here, you're going to be here. You all cool with that? Great.
Also, we should be able to be at an age where it's like, if you're Meredith Marks and you need a bathtub, to come in and be like, I'm Meredith Marks, I need a bathtub. And then that's it. And you know what you are going in there for, and everyone should accommodate you. But I guess also the housewives certainly don't give a shit.
The bathtub thing is also like, I'll just say reasonable accommodations. Like you could survive a weekend in Palm Springs without a bath.
Without a bathtub.
You can survive. Can you survive without your dog's crate being able to be like you? Like that's not really
that. Or does one of your friends want the crate in their room? Because I don't think that they do. So those are your options. I don't think I completely understand, but I'm also, again, the sensitive one of my friend group.
Yes.
So I definitely understand.
But thank you so much for writing in. I wish I was at your fun weekend in Palm Springs with all these fun people.
Yes, take me.
But guys, that is our episode today. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody who wrote in. Thank you everybody who wrote in, even if we didn't get to read your message or play your call on the episode. We're getting a lot of them, and we're trying to find the ones that resonate with us the most.
It's so exciting though, and thank you guys so much for being a part of Who's the Bitch.
And if we haven't read your call and you keep wanting and you want to hear it, call us on Monday.
Yes,
we do every other Monday. We do a live stream where we take calls live. That's next one is March 24th. All the information is at who'sthebitch.com. That's going to be on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LPNTV. If you're a Twitch user, go save that channel or whatever the fuck. And then
subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. That's what it is.
That channel.
But you know what? We want them to subscribe on air with us.
Yes.
So don't subscribe yet.
Yes.
Save the channel and then come back and subscribe when you're with us.
Yeah. Come hang out with us.
But yeah, and by the way, I think our live streams are fun because people are all in the chat saying really funny shit too. So you're watching us, but you're also chatting with people. It feels like old school.
It's fun.
It's fun. So just get into it and write us at who'sthebitch.com, and we'll see you guys next week.
Love you guys.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.